Hello, everybody, and welcome. We all made it. It is Friday. Friday, if I may. This is your 10-minute sports report. I am your host, Captain Boring. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I do appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe here on YouTube. Go follow us on Instagram at 4th and 1 Podcast. All the words spelled out, 4th and 1 Podcast. You must add the podcast because there are a bunch of other podcasts called 4th and 1, specifically one Cam Newton's, but it's spelled the number 4 TH and the number 1. But let's be honest, ours is much better. We did drop a brand new episode. It is titled, it's official, The Death of Amateur Sports. The Admiral, he likes to get his kicks and gigs off of he's not clever with the names. Okay, like he likes to name it. I would have named it something else, but that is what it is, and here we are. Let's just jump in because we got a lot to go over. It is Friday, beginning of the weekend, so we'll be back on Monday. Lots of stuff to go over. Let's get at it. Alrighty, so the NCAA could pay over $2.7 billion to settle an antitrust suit. The NCAA's national office might be footing the bill for a settlement expected to be more than $2.7 billion in a landmark House versus NCAA lawsuit and other related antitrust case. Basically, this is a bunch of former players suing the NCAA, basically saying you were illegal in allowing us to collect on NIL. We want reparations, $2.7 billion worth. So the NCAA is trying to just make this all go away and start turning a page. We actually talk about this. Can the NCLL become the NCAA again? Roger Goodell, terrible commissioner about 10 years ago, now a much, much better commissioner, and I would say probably one of the better commissioners, if not the best commissioner in all of sports. So go take a listen to the episode podcast. It's on YouTube. You're going to find it right here. It's in the channel. It's in the playlist called Podcast. The title is, it's official, The Death of Amateur Sports. You can also listen to the podcast wherever you get your podcast, Spotify, Apple, Google. Hopefully he uploaded it there. He should have done his job. He wanted to host. The host uploads. I was willing to host. I didn't get the opportunity. So here we are. Okay, the NBA playoffs chug along and a gaggle of teams were eliminated, and so here we are. Let's flash back to Wednesday. It was Game 5 between the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics, and it really felt like the Miami Heat's Game 2 win, where they sunk 23 three-pointers, was really a fluke, and Boston continued to prove that. Without their two star players, Miami Heat, really without their star player, Jimmy Butler, they fall in 5 games. The Boston Celtics 118-84. Both Jaylen Brown and Derek White each had 25 points, and the route was on from there. Boston wins this series 4-1 and await the winner of the Magic and Cavs. Now, the Mavericks and the LA Clippers on the west side. Again, this is Wednesday night. It was a pivotal Game 5. The winner of this, with the series tied at 2, takes a 3-2 lead, and the next game becomes a de facto elimination game, basically. And it was. And the Game 6 elimination game will be for the LA Clippers. Dallas hammers the LA Clippers by 30. Behind 35 points and 10 assists from Luka Doncic. Kyrie Irving had 14 points. Max Kleber had 15 points off the bench. Derek Lively had 12 points off the bench, and it was a beatdown from the get-go. Actually, it was a 1-point game at the end of 1, but then it was a 9-point game at halftime, and they never looked back from there. Let's flash forward to Thursday. It was an elimination game from the Milwaukee Bucks. They were without their 2 leading stars, Giannis Antetokounmpo and Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard did end up playing in this game. However, it was not enough. He had 28 points. He went 10 for 10 from the free throw line. But the Indiana Pacers had 4 of their 5 starters scoring double figures. Obi Toppin had 21 points off the bench. TJ McConnell had 20 points off the bench. I don't know how TJ McConnell scored 20 points off the bench. He's the shortest, slowest, whitest guy on the floor. And that's not racist against white guys because he is just very, very white. Okay, so he can hoop, but he's the whitest guy on the floor. It was a 120-98 winner chicken dinner as the Indiana Pacers advance to round 2. They would be facing the winner of the New York Knicks Philadelphia 76ers series, and well, the Philadelphia 76ers magic ran out in the 6th game. Jalen Brunson was absolutely fantastic in this series. I think he scored over 35 every single game. He finished this game with 41 points and 12 assists. Joel Embiid went out and did drop a double-double in his effort, 39-13, but it was not enough. I feel like there's something in my gum, and boy, is it annoying to talk through. But we're powering through because I do that for you. Josh Hart, who hit a couple dagger threes in game 1, hit a dagger go-ahead 3 here in the 4th quarter. The New York Knicks win 118-115. By the way, the finishing score of this, the total points scored from each team was separated only by a single point. That's how close this series was. But Joel Embiid, yet again, cannot get it done for the city of Philadelphia. So the New York Knicks will take on the Indiana Pacers, and there's a lot of playoff history there between back when Reggie Miller played for the Indiana Pacers. He eliminated the Knicks. He had 13 points in like 8 seconds. It'll be a great series. Coming at you tonight is an elimination game for the Orlando Magic. The Cleveland Cavaliers lead the series 3-2. It is on the Magic home court. Again, the home team has won every single game in this series. If that trend continues, we play Game 7 this weekend. And another Game 6 tonight, an elimination game, this time at home. The Dallas Mavericks take on the Los Angeles Clippers. If the Clippers win, we go Game 7 as well this weekend. But if not, the Mavericks advance. The Cavaliers would also advance with a win. Tomorrow night, it is Game 1 in the Western Conference semifinals. The Denver Nuggets, the world champions, the team that houses the best player in the world, in my opinion, Nikola Jokic, taking on the new up-and-comer American superstar who say that he's got some Jordan and Kobe dog in him. That would be Anthony Edwards. The Denver Nuggets, Minnesota Timberwolves, Game 1, Saturday night, 7 p.m. And finally, Sunday, 2 Game 7s if necessary. That would be the Magic Cavaliers, Mavericks, Clippers. And then I'll get you recapped from the weekend and get you all set for next week's round 2 games. Alrighty, the Lord Stanley Cup took place, and we'll take you back to Wednesday, and we'll take you to Game 5, a pivotal Game 5 between the Vegas Golden Knights and the Dallas Stars. The Vegas Golden Knights got off to a hot 2-0 start. Both games they won on the road. Then they lost both their home games. The series tied at 2 back in Dallas. Well, guess what? Dallas looked like the better seed, and they got it done. It was tied at the end of the first period, but then Jason Robertson scored the go-ahead goal in the second period. Dallas wins 3-2 to take a 3-2 series lead. Elimination Game 6 is next. It was an elimination game for the Los Angeles Kings, who just seemed outmatched against the Edmonton Oilers, and it continued to be that way. Evander Kane got things started in the first for Edmonton, and Edmonton did not look back. Leon Draisaitl, I don't even know, and Zach Hyman scored 3 of the 4 goals for the Oilers in the second period. The Kings hung around late, got a goal in the third period by Adrian Kempe, but it was not enough. They're losers 4-3, and they lose that series 4-1. And then last night, the Toronto Maple Leafs were down 3-1. Well, guess what? They have come all the way back behind 2 goals from William Nylander. They get a 2-1 victory to force a Game 7 Saturday night in Boston against their arch rival Bruins. Tonight, Friday, is an elimination game for the Nashville Predators. They are down 3-2. They take on the Vancouver Canucks. It is in Nashville, so that will help. Can the Predators force a Game 7? Also tonight is a pivotal Game 6. We are back in Vegas now. The defending champion Vegas Golden Knights take on the Dallas Stars, down 3-2. They look to extend the series to a 7th game. And then Saturday, it is the best words in all of sports, Game 7 in Boston. Toronto Maple Leafs taking on the Bruins, with that series tied at 3. Obviously, that's how it works. And then Sunday, we have a couple Game 7s if necessary. It would be the Vegas Golden Knights Dallas Stars and the Predators Canucks. Again, Predators and Golden Knights have to win tonight to force Game 7. And then it is Game 1 between the Carolina Hurricane and the best team in hockey, the New York Rangers. Rangers are at home. That's at 4 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. So just letting you know, the winner of the Stars Knights face the Colorado Avalanche. The winner of the Canucks Predators face the Edmonton Oilers in the Western Conference. Panthers await the winner of the Bruins Maple Leaf Game 7 saga. And then we do have one side of that bracket figured out with the Rangers and Hurricanes facing off there. So it is going to be exciting. And then finally, let's run down the MLB standings. I'm just going to do this once a week until the playoffs are over, and then we'll see what happens here. So in the American League, the Baltimore Orioles are 6-4 in their last 10. They now have a 1-game lead over the New York Yankees. 2.5 back are the Boston Red Sox. That is my team. They are also 6-4 in the last 10. Two pairs of teams on a 2-game losing streak. A pair of teams on a 2-game losing streak would be the Toronto Blue Jays, 5.5 back, and the Tampa Bay Rays, 6.5 back. If we go to the Central, the Cleveland Guardians are 1.5 games ahead of the Kansas City Royals, 2 games ahead of the Detroit Tigers. Minnesota Twins are 2.5 back. Chicago White Sox still stuck at 6 wins and 25 losses, are 14 games back. It should be mentioned that the Minnesota Twins are 10-0 on a 10-game winning streak, now just 2.5 back. If we go out west, the Seattle Mariners now hold first place in the AL West, half game ahead of the Texas Rangers. The Oakland Athletics are 2.5 back. Houston Astros are 6 games back, along with the Los Angeles Angels. Oakland Athletics, 7-3 in the last 10, 4 straight wins. Flip over, National League East. Braves lead Philadelphia by a half game. They're 6-4 in their last 10. Phillies are 7-3 in the last 10. 2-game winning streak. The Mets are 5 back. The Washington Nationals are 6 back. The Miami Marlins at 9 wins and 24 losses, 13.5 back. The Central, Milwaukee Brewers are 1 game ahead of the Chicago Cubs, 5-5 in the last 10 on a 2-game winning streak. Reds are 3.5 back. Cardinals from St. Louis are 5.5 back. Pittsburgh Pirates, 4-game losing streak, 3-7 in their last 10, 6 games back. And then if we go to the West, the highest salary team in baseball, or one of them anyway, the Los Angeles Dodgers are playing like one of the highest salary teams in baseball. They're 20-13. They're 8-2 in their last 10. They're 4.5 games ahead of both the San Diego Padres and the San Francisco Giants. They're 5.5 back of the Arizona Diamondbacks and 12 games ahead of the lowly Rockies, who only have 7 wins on the season and 24 losses. And that'll do it for today's rendition of the 10-Minute Sports Report. I thank you, everyone, for being here. I should say the Sports Report, because it will be however long it is. Thank you for being here. I will see you Monday for an episode to get you caught up from the weekend, see if we got any Game 7s, if we had any Game 7s, what those outcomes will be, and get you all set for next week. Until next time, know God loves you. I pray God blesses you. Wash those hands. Y'all are filthy animals. And stay safe. Have a healthy weekend. Peace out.